Have you ever why hustlers are always hustling? They never seem to have it all together, and even when they do, it's usually short-lived. They never seem to build a long-lasting wealth. You see, it's not the business model, it is the emotional trap that no one really talks about. Here is usually how the entrepreneurial journey works. You get excited about something new, you get started, you get a quick win, and boom, a roadblock hits. And right at that moment, instead of looking at what the bottleneck is and fixing it, most entrepreneurs go ahead and restart something new. New business, new opportunity, new shiny object. Although it may seem like progress, but this is the exact loop that is keeping you and most hustlers and entrepreneurs out there broke. In this video, I'm gonna share with you exactly why this happens, how to break out of it, and how to make sure that you set yourself up for next year to be your best year yet. Now listen, if this is your first time on this channel, welcome. Hit that subscribe button, and at the end of this video, if you find it valuable, I'd appreciate if you give it a share with someone that you care about, and also drop your comments in the chat below and let us know which part of this video actually interests you the most. So every entrepreneur goes through this cycle right here, and this is called the emotional cycle of change. You can look into it, you can search it, but essentially it has 6 different points that an entrepreneur can go through. Now, here's the thing. After research that I have done and I have studied, the typical entrepreneur, the person that starts a business, usually is someone that likes risk, likes chaos. They are not very orderly, and they don't really care about the unknown. They actually like having variety in their life. They like having that complexity in their life. And in fact, boredom is really what dissatisfies them, and not having that chaos dissatisfies them. And if there is no chaos, then they create chaos because they thrive in chaos. And so usually that is the kind of person that starts a business. Usually, not always. That said, that type of person also is not very head heavy, is very heart heavy. You will hear them use things like, I feel like, my gut says, where a more of a heavy, head heavy type of person, CEO, for example, or entrepreneur will say, will use logical type of frameworks and so on. So the typical entrepreneur is, emotional, starts from the heart, from the gut. They like uncertainty. They like all that chaos. And usually they get attracted emotionally by something new. They see something, some shiny object that happened somewhere. A brother-in-law launched something. A sister-in-law invested in this meme coin. Someone said something and the grass begins looking greener. And that's where shiny eyes come in place. And then they think, great, this is the next big thing that I should do. And so it starts right here where it's uninformed optimism. Uninformed optimism, it's like, hey, brother-in-law launched this thing. He made $10,000 in a month and a half. Oh my God, this is the next thing, the next best thing since sliced bread. That is what I'm going to do. So they start with this. They are all excited. They are very, emotionally involved. And that's why they are excited. And usually they are enthusiastic. And especially in a company that has, other team members, it's usually very easy for them to sell other people on why this next thing is the best thing and why everyone should drop everything they're doing and then literally go do this thing. If you have, if you look in history at all or most, not all, but most leaders, religious leaders, entrepreneurs, CEOs, so on, athletes, you're going to realize that they are very enthusiastic, that it's easy to follow them. It's easy to fall in love with them because they are just so passionate about the thing that they are talking about. They're not very, head heavy. They are very heart heavy. So they're going to start here and they're going to get excited about this thing. And then that's where they go into step number 2, informed pessimism. This is where they realize that, holy shit, there is actually problems with this thing. So they launch a new business. A week goes by, a month goes by, a year goes by, whatever, and boom, bottlenecks begin happening. And usually this happens fairly quickly, usually within 30 to 90 days, right? Because anything that you start, you're going to start having problems. Within 30 to 90 days, you're going to start having problems. And that's where they go from, oh my God, this is the next best thing, to like, oh shit, this actually has problems too, just like the thing that I just left to start this thing. And that's where reality sets in. That's where they start kind of questioning if this was the right move. That's where they start looking around. Is there something easier? That's where they start kind of, doubting if them moving to this thing was actually the best thing or not. And usually this is a drag for them, for their energy, because they don't thrive in the day-to-day stuff. They thrive in big vision. They thrive in going to the moon. They thrive in creating the vision of what is next. Where here they have to actually roll up their sleeves and get in down and dirty in the day-to-day stuff, management, leading teams, figuring out process systems, fixing stuff. And that's where they realize that, oh shit, I actually don't like what I see. Now, right after this, whether they like it or not, they're going to go into what is called crisis of meaning. And this is also called the valley of despair. This is where they start doubting everything. They start doubting their life. They start really, it's technically informed pessimism because now they know what can go wrong and what are all the, the bottlenecks in this business or this vehicle or this campaign or whatever it is, right? It doesn't need to be a brand new business. It could be a campaign within a business. It could be a new launch. It could be a new product they launch. It could be whatever it is, right? And that's when they realize, like, holy shit, maybe that wasn't the best thing that I did. Maybe if I look into something else, or if I try to rebuild this entire business, or if I try to redo this entire project, maybe that's actually the fix. And usually, the solution for everything for these kind of people, the visionary type of entrepreneurs, the ones that are thinking from their gut, their heart, usually their fix to everything is let me rebuild. Because for them is that's where they thrive. They thrive in chaos. Because the new build, because the new business, the new campaign, the new initiative doesn't have all the things that can go wrong. It's kind of more up in the air. The idea is still exciting. They are starting from uninformed optimism. It sounds sexy. It sounds cool. It sounds like this, what I should do. So usually about 90% of entrepreneurs, what they do is they crash and burn. They simply just say, I don't want to do this anymore. I am sick and tired of this. Because again, now they are going into nitty gritty and then the weeds of things, and they hate that. So what they do instead, they let this crash and burn, and then boom, they are on to the next thing. And usually the next thing is, again, another campaign. Maybe they read a book. Maybe they watched a podcast. Maybe they saw a brother-in-law that launched something. Maybe they saw someone on Facebook or Instagram posted about how they made a gajillion, bajillion dollars by following this new process. But obviously that's another entrepreneur that maybe got a quick win, and they did not tell them about the follow-ups and that entrepreneur is still here because usually when you start something new, you get a quick win. It's like the low-hanging fruit, right? But right before you realize, it's like, oh shit, for me to scale it, for me to continue doing this, it's like there's all these other problems that I have to fix. So usually people crash and burn and they jump on to the next thing. So the journey of an entrepreneur, the journey of a visionary entrepreneur, of a visionary person, the person that comes from their heart, that's emotionally attached to things, that just kind of like, there is no filter. They get excited about something, bang, they want to take action. They are stuck between those four cycles. And this can be an entrepreneur. This can be an intrapreneur, an employee of a business partner in a business. This could be a team member in a business, in a team, in a department, in a division. It doesn't need to always be an entrepreneur. And you will see that they're always stuck. And usually what happens is at some point, burnout sets in and they just completely give up. Where really what they should do is they should look at this and say, okay, I am having all those doubts. I am having all those problems. I am having all these things that I can't seem to get out of bed in the morning to face because they don't excite me. I get excited here. They have a choice to make. And only about 10% of entrepreneurs, of leaders, of employees, of those that are successful actually say, what do I need to do to go from here to here? Because this next step is informed optimism, meaning now I have all the information that I need for me to make this successful. Okay, let's just say that I am an Amazon seller and I just launched a business on Amazon and I'm excited. This is the next thing. I'm going to become a millionaire. A month in, you're like, holy shit, I need to actually, I need to search for products. I need to create a listing. I need to do this. I need to do that. And then now you're questioning life. You're questioning if this was the best thing. And then you're starting to look at crypto. You're starting to look at AI. You're starting to look at whatever. And 90% of people will crash and burn and then will go and jump on the next opportunity. But only 10% will say, okay, well, what do I need? Well, I need to do product research. I need to create a listing. I need to create photos. I need to launch the business. So there's about 4 or 5 steps. I need to learn PPC campaigns. I need to learn how to create a listing, how to do all that. Do I actually have the interest to do all these things? Yes, I will do it. No, let me delegate. Who do I delegate to? Well, are there services out there? Is there someone that I can hire? Is there a brother-in-law, a cousin, whatever, that I can hire to? I can teach how to do product research, and I can connect them with my mentor, my business partner, whatever, where they can do it for me. Or can I suck it up and just do it for short enough because right now I cannot afford to outsource it. My team is not big enough. My company is not big enough. I need to somehow say, you know what? I need to just push through. And instead of me launching 7 things at the same time, what if I just focus on one thing because I know that everything that I launch is going to go through this anyways. And instead of me getting excited about something new every 2 seconds, every time I read a book, every time I watch a podcast, every time I see an asshole post something about how, they found the next gajillion, bajillion things on Facebook, I get excited about it and I want to do it as well. What if I just say, you know what, this quarter, I'm just going to focus on one thing. And because I don't have the budget, because I don't have the team, because I don't have the bandwidth, I don't have the money, whatever, to delegate this thing that I completely hate, I'm just going to focus on doing one thing per quarter and I'm going to push it through. And hopefully by the time I get here, this starts scaling and I can achieve the results. So that way, next time I launch something, I actually have the budget to delegate this to someone else. I can pay someone to do it for me. I can pay a mentor to show me a shortcut on how to go from here to here without feeling like shit and questioning my life decisions. And so that way I can get to the goal sooner. But unfortunately, 90% of people will get stuck in this loop. And usually, again, as I said, the visionary entrepreneur, the CEO, the people that start businesses, the people that thrive, the people that do big things are usually visionary CEOs, the kind of people that can easily get distracted by the next shiny object. And that's why if you are one that you're watching right now and you look back at the last year, you look back at the last 5 years, you look back at the last 10 years of your life, what you're going to realize is that you've done this 65,000 times. And you'll be lying to yourself if you try to make up some bullshit on why you did it other than you just coming here and realizing, oh shit, I actually need to do some work. I actually need to do some stuff that I don't want to do. Well, actually, this sucks. I should do this. You're going to realize that you started probably more businesses than you can count. You'll probably realize that you went through, more partners than you can count. You'll probably realize that you started initiatives within a business or a department or a division that you were a part of, too many that you can count. And you never were able to really achieve a kind of result that you wanted. Because the next thing always seemed like it was the best thing. And you're just kind of stuck in this loop. Now, every now and then what happens is you go from here to here very quickly to here. Because it's what I like to call the luck of the draw. Or this is so simple that with an easy solution, you can go here. That doesn't happen very often. That only happens about less than 5% of the time. And I am speaking about this because I speak of experience. I have launched 9 businesses. The first 7 failed. And some of the biggest reason why they failed is because I was stuck here. I got to a point where I just didn't want to deal with the shit. And instead of having the staying power, what I did was I focused on the things that actually excite me. And the things that excited me weren't the things that were going to get me here. They were the things that I did not want to do. But because they were the things that I did not want to do, I turned a blind eye to until they were so significant that they just tore down the entire business. And then usually me going from here to here is usually like this. I can crash and burn and start a brand new business, start a brand new initiative, start a brand new program or project, literally within a matter of days, sometimes hours. Because that is what I like. That's what excites me. That's the kind of person I am. I am that visionary entrepreneur. I am that person that excites the heck out of everybody else around me. People rally around me. People get excited about my new initiatives, my new ideas. But guess what? I get bored very easily, and I find myself here very often. So now the skill that I'm trying to get better at, and I'm not even there, the skill that I'm trying to get better at is how do I find the people that will take me through this to here. Because what I've realized is I am this guy. I'm the guy that likes to start new things. I like chaos. If I don't have chaos, I create chaos. And usually that is the definition of craziness. Because I will see a project that's going smoothly, everything's going great, a business that's scaling little by little, but that doesn't excite me because I thrive in chaos. I want a lot of stuff happening all the time. I like uncertainty. I like not knowing what's coming. I like taking risk. So the smooth sailing actually bores me. So I go in and I try to touch and feel and fire people and move people around and stuff like that, and I blow everything up. And before you know it, I am back here. And this actually has been a cycle in my life over the last 10, 12 years. And I'm trying to break it by realizing that, first of all, this exists, because first you got to have the awareness that this even exists, right? Because prior to this, I did not even realize that this existed. But now that I know that this exists, then it's like, well, how do I get to here and then get to here? Well, I'm not the guy. So let me delegate. Let me find the guy that's going to take us from here to here. Because I'm a 0 to 1 person, not a 1 to 10 person. I can't afford to delegate. I can't afford to have someone else do it for me. I can try to push myself, but here's the thing. It's going to take so much energy, and I will probably jeopardize getting here 9 out of 10 times. And it will take a lot longer to go from here to here. So I'd rather delegate. But for you, if you're just starting out, the question that you should ask yourself is, first, do I have the budget? Do I have do I have the bandwidth to do it? If not, then you know what? Let me stick it out. Let me have staying power. Next time you launch a business, next time you launch a project, next time you launch an initiative, when things get tough, don't jump ship and go to the next thing. And man, I have so many friends that are stuck in this for years and they don't realize what's going on, but I can see it from far away. They don't, because they are in it, stuck in it. They don't see what's going on unless someone actually tells them what's going on. And unless you have staying power, then you're going to continue doing this. And unfortunately, you will remain broke. Every now and then, you might, by the luck of the draw, get out of this somehow. But here's the thing. Your success is not going to be long lasting, because you don't know that this is going on, because at some point you will jeopardize the success by doing something stupid and breaking everything, crashing and burning, so that way you can come back here, because that's where you thrive. That's what you love to do. And I say this from experience because I have done this. I got us to where I was taking home about $1 million per month. Take home. I made about $6 million in 2 years in net income. But then I got bored. And what I did, I crashed and burned the company so that way I can start here. And I've been back in this loop for the last 2, 3 years. And I did not even realize what the hell was going on. What I just realized recently is that, dude, every time we get here, I get shiny eyes and I jump on the next thing. And every time we get here, I don't want to deal with this. It's too much technical stuff. It's too much boring, the same shit every day, fixing little tweaking. And that's what happens. When times get tough, don't restart, pivot, don't restart, tweak, don't restart, fix. Rebuilding and restarting is hardly ever the answer and the solution. Fixing and pivoting is usually what is needed for you to get there. Hope this makes sense. Hope you guys found this valuable. Drop your thoughts and comments in the comment section below. And if you found this video valuable, share it with someone who can benefit from this video. Cheers.